Yo, what's good? It's your boy KB and I'm with Carla, and today we're going to be talking about me meeting her mother. Yeah. A lot of people have been asking me, like, I put it on Twitter like I was about to meet her mom, and so a lot of people have been asking me how that experience went, and I'm about to tell y'all exactly how it went down. So it's kind of like a story time, but she can kind of give her little side of the story as well as I tell my main side of the story of me meeting her mother. And we're going to jump right into it. Let's get it. So first of all, we've been dating for quite some time now. And I think at some point you gotta go and meet the parents. Basically, it's my first time meeting her mom. Her mother and her brother were moving out to California, but she's from PA, Pennsylvania. She's from York, Pennsylvania. This is my first time ever even going to York, and this is my first time ever meeting her mother. The main point of the trip was to help them move across America, like basically drive across America. Back to California. She was like, "Oh, do you want to go help? You want to help my family move?" I was like, "Yeah." She kept asking me like, "When are we, like, are you gonna get your ticket? Like, oh, when are we getting our tickets to go? Like, we have to get it by this time, like, because I really want to help them." So being the nice guy that I am, I was like, "All right, you know what? This could be a good bonding moment for me. It can't be that difficult. I got this. It's a piece of cake." I figured if I was meeting her mother, it's not gonna be an issue. Fast forward, I told Carla like I for sure was gonna go. So her mother knows I'm coming, her brother knows I'm coming. We have our tickets, we're ready to go. So we get on our plane. Our flight left at like 9:45 at night. It's like a 5.5 hour, 6 hour plane ride. I'm hella crunched in the plane, so I'm already irritated. Like, I didn't get a good seat. I thought I'd have a lot more room than I did, but like me being as tall as I am, like I'm crunched in the seat like this. Carla's fine though.
I was fine.
She was cool. So like, just imagine like it's late and you're trying to sleep and you crunched up in the seat. So off the bat, I'm already a little bit irritated. So I'm already kind of tired and a little bit irritated. So I didn't sleep on the plane at all to the very end.
Until the very end. Yeah, you were still asleep.
She didn't sleep at all to the very end either. You probably got about like 1 to 2 hours of sleep out of the whole trip, and then we have to go to the East Coast and like switch time zones. Flew into Baltimore airport. Her mother was gonna meet us at baggage claim area. You know, you pick up your bags. I get off the plane like I'm not in a good mood because when I'm tired, I don't know how to talk to people. I'm thinking in my head like I'm nervous because I know this is her mom and this is a very big deal, but at the same time I'm so tired that I really like a part of me is so tired that I literally just don't have like a filter for like, oh, I should probably be energetic to meet her mom. We make our way to the baggage claim and we're like waiting for our bags, and your brother pops out first. So it's just her brother that came up first. I already met her brother a long time ago, so her brother's cool. So her brother's there, but her mom's not there. So I'm like, all right, like where the mom at? Is she gonna wait in the car? Is she gonna pop up? I don't know. Like, I didn't want her to just pop out of nowhere. So we're waiting for our bags and her brother's there. We're waiting at the baggage claim. I see her mom like walking in the distance. I'm looking and I'm like, I didn't know if it was her mom or not, but I'm looking, I'm like, that definitely looks like her mom. Like, it looked like an older version of you, like dead on, like a twin, but like 25 years older. So I was like, that's for surely her mom. And like on her face, like she was not, I don't think she was even smiling yet.
No.
Like she wasn't smiling or anything. She had like it looked like she was mad, but I couldn't confirm if she was mad or not. So at this point, I'm kind of like, my heart starts pounding pretty hard. I didn't say nothing to Carla, but I'm still tired. So like, it didn't really show, but I was hella nervous.
I mean, you didn't show me like that you were nervous. He didn't show it at all to me, like he was nervous.
Yeah,
he was like, oh,
I had to be a cool guy, because
okay.
I had to act like I could take it, even though in my mind I was freaking out. Her mom is like walking closer and closer. I'm just trying to think about like what I'm supposed to say first, because that first like high like impression is a big deal. She told me that I should always like hug her instead of shaking her hand. So that was the first thing in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna say hi and I'm gonna hug her. So she comes over and she says hi to you and she's excited.
Yeah.
And she's speaking in Spanish. Number one, she doesn't speak a lot of English.
Pretty much 0 to nothing.
She speaks like 5% English, 95% Spanish.
Like a hi, yes.
Yeah, the basic, the very most basics of basics. So she pulls up by the baggage claim. She's saying hi to Carla and her brother, like all in Spanish. Oh, my baby, my baby. And I'm standing there, and she didn't say hi to me yet, so I felt like, well, it just felt kind of a little bit awkward. I think I hugged her and I said hi, and then the first comment she made was about how tall I was.
She's like, oh my gosh, está bien grandote, está bien grandote.
Yeah, she was shocked about the height. I was like, okay, maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. We're waiting for my bag.
I already had my bag.
She already had her bag, so at this point I didn't know if I was supposed to make conversation or get my bag. But I was so tired I didn't make no conversation. I waited for my bag and got it and got up out of there. So I got my bag and we started walking back to the car. I don't think I said a single word to her all the way up into the car. So we got into the car. She's like whispering to me like, you need to make sure you talk to my mom.
Obviously, it's an important for us, especially, like, it's good manners to like always make conversation and stuff like that. So I was like, told him like, make sure you talk to her because, you know.
And I knew all of these things, but
he like blanked out.
For the 50th time, I was like, number one, I'm already shy. Number two, I don't talk that much anyway. Number three, I'm nervous. Number four, I'm tired. So that combination was just messing with my brain. We're driving, I'm just looking out the window like seeing stuff go by and like I just kind of blink. Her mom's talking and Carla's talking to her mom in Spanish and stuff. Honestly, for the first like 30 minutes, I felt they were speaking literally only Spanish. So then I got to the point where I was like, I don't even know what's going on at all. And then I was out of it because I was really tired. At that point, I just fell asleep. So I fell asleep in the car, and I don't know what they're talking about. They probably was talking shit. I don't know. I know y'all gotta be talking a little bit of shit.
No, I wasn't saying anything about you. Anyways, continue.
So we arrived at her house. I went straight to the bathroom and straight into the room and went to sleep. I think she accepted like, okay, he's tired. Like he came all the way across, like it's 5 a.m. like he's tired, so he's good. And then when I woke up, she told me that we were about to go eat. So I'm thinking in my head like, okay, we're about to go eat, like about to go eat with your mom so I can handle this. And really we were gonna go eat with your mom and her best friend
and her husband
and her 2 kids. So I'm really meeting her mom and I'm meeting her, like your mom's best friend. So like, of course, if I don't make a good impression on her mom's best friend and her mom's best friend's husband, then that's gonna like make me lose points anyway. We went to dinner with her mom's best friend. That was good because I was hungry. Like I like to eat, so I never deny food. So like I think the big thing she told me about me, especially like a Mexican mother, is to like
accept everything they try to give you, because they're very like offering when you know someone's new coming into the house. They're very offering, so you just gotta make sure to say yes. Even my mom says, like, sometimes I'm like, no thank you, and my mom's like, Carla, accepted, and I'm like, okay. So
we ate. That's done. I'm on my A game. Like I'm not tired anymore, so I'm on my A game. I wasn't touching you, like I was being respectful. I was holding the door, like I was walking behind everybody. I was doing everything that I thought was like the right thing to do. I'm doing everything that like my mom taught me to do something, and like I'm on my A game. Like, okay, I'm doing everything I can. I'm good. Made it all the way through dinner. Had no problems. She's smiling. She looks happy. I don't know what she's saying. Through the Spanish, I looked for the cues that she was smiling, laughing. I was like, okay, I'm doing good. So, was it the same day? Or?
No, it was not even the second day. It was the third day.
Okay, so we made it through the first day. Like,
first and second day we made it through.
We made it through the first day. That was cool. We made it through the second day.
That was cool.
I was cool. Like everything was going smooth. So third day.
It was literally the day before we were about to leave.
The day before we're about to drive across America. Like, so we're gonna drive with all the stuff from the house, right? So we're driving. So we're preparing to leave, but like this is the last day we have there. No, we're going to Hershey Park. We wanted to go eat before we went to the park. You know, I kind of got a couple days under my belt, so I'm like, you know what? I kind of know her. Like I'm good. So we get to Panera, and Carla orders. Carla, her brother, and her mom like are in front of me, and I'm like behind them, and she orders. Like she paid for her brother, her mom, and herself. And the way me and Carla like work is like, of course I'll pay for her stuff. Like I'll pay for her dinner. I'll do all those things, but me and her have like a 50-50 type thing where like it doesn't feel like I'm always paying or she's always paying. The 3 days that I was there before that day, we were already going back and forth paying for each other, but her mom never really seen it. We go sit down and eat. I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to eat. Like I'm happy. I get my food and like the whole mood just changed. So all of a sudden I'm sitting at the table and like everybody starts speaking in Spanish. So I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, I'm used to this now. So I'm sitting there. I don't know what they're saying, but the intensity like rose. And I see her and her mom going back and forth. I'm like, all right, this probably isn't good, but I don't want to mind my business because it might not be about me. It might be some family business. I'm gonna just mind my business and eat. Then I look at your brother and I could tell it was about me because he looked at me like your brother's like,
like it's about you.
I can tell like if it's about me because I'll hear like I know some words. Like I know novio and shit, and I could tell it's about me because you know something's about you if I could tell something was wrong but I didn't know what the problem was. Apparently because I didn't take out my wallet first and offer to pay, that's like a huge deal that I missed apparently, which I normally would do, but in that specific scenario I didn't do it. Like it wasn't like I purposely didn't do it. She's telling her like the correct way of doing things would be for the man to offer, which I agree with for the most part. So apparently it sparked a huge argument. She's arguing with her mom back and forth. She's defending me, and
I'm
apparently
like, no, like he already like did it before, like he doesn't have, like it's fine, like I wanted to do it, and it was just like this. She was just already in a bad mood, period. And I already know this side of my mom, because if you're Mexican or Spanish, once your mom argues, she does not stop until 4 hours later. So after that, we get in the car. Me and my mom are still going back and forth. Like,
but she's defending me though.
Yeah, like the whole time I was like on his side. I was like, first of all, he came out here, like I'ma like obviously defend him, because I already know what, you know, what is what. So then
that made her more mad, right?
That made her way more mad, because
she defended me.
Because I usually never do that. Like with my past boyfriends, I just really didn't care, and so I guess me arguing with her made her more mad, because she was like, well, why are you defending this kid? Like, why is he so special, basically? So then get to Hershey Park. It was like an hour drive, and then I'm like, he notices like obviously something's wrong, and he's like,
no, we got to Hershey, and when I can tell something's wrong, and I feel like I'm not calling her fake or her mom fake or her brother fake, but if I feel like people aren't being straight up with me like about something, I get irritated. And the way I get irritated, I just don't say. I'll have a blank face and I'll just walk. And I'm hella big, so you could tell I'm off, because I'm just like I just walked. So I knew something was off, but nobody was saying anything to me, so I was frustrated. Like the whole car ride, it's all Spanish, like for an hour. Like, so first of all, I'm there for hella days. It's 99% Spanish, so I'm already lost. Then the argument's 100% Spanish, so I'm completely lost. And she didn't really tell me what was wrong. Even when we got there, she didn't tell me till after like we already got there, and she kind of separated from her mom a little bit. So I was irritated.
Right then and there, he almost seemed like he just wanted to cry.
I didn't want to cry, but I just felt like,
I thought he was gonna be like, I want to go home, and I was like, that moment, I was like, oh my god.
in that moment, like I didn't want to give up, but I was just like, you know, where I come from and how I'm raised and like how I'm used to people doing things, like I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. And if I did, I would like to know what it is. That way I can fix it, you know? So it's like frustrating. It's like you having a problem and not knowing how to fix it.
And plus you didn't know how to say anything to her.
And I can't, like, if she spoke English, I could be like, I could explain myself, but she doesn't. So like, even if I do, I have to translate. Like, it has to go through another person. I was on some other shit. But we go through the park, and the park is fun. Like, she's begging me to act like nothing's wrong. Like, she's like,
I was like, just act like, just let it go. Like, I know, like, this is weird, but just let it go and, you know, just be normal. I'm
not the happiest, but like, I'm trying my best to like be like cordial.
This
so
is what happened.
8 hours later, she explains what happened 8 hours before.
So I tell him, you know what, like, this is what happened. She wasn't very happy with this situation. A lot of it had to do with him not speaking, basically.
I didn't have the right to be mad, but I was just like, I didn't want to feel like you're kind of like asking me other questions when you know there's a problem that I don't know about. We got home and she explained that to me. It was more stuff than that, but like, it was just really stressful.
It's like, I was so frustrated. I was like, you know, obviously this is my boyfriend. This is like the person that I care about, blah, blah, blah. And obviously this is my mom, so it's like, and I was like in the most impossible situation ever. My mom's just a very hard, complicated woman, period. She's a single mom, so, you know, she has the mom side of her and the dad side of her all combined.
And the devil side of her.
Stop, because she'll see
No, I'm
this.
playing. She's an angel. She's a queen.
So.
I'm just playing. This is too stressful. Like, I'm doing the best that I can. And your mom is just like making it really difficult for me. Like, this is too much for me. Like, I just don't like this. And I never said I was gonna give up, but I was kind of like telling her like how I felt, and then she started crying. So her mom thought I made her cry. Whole bunch of stuff. So she talks to her mom. So I'm sitting in the room, and then her and her mom come in the room. Her mom's talking to me, and she's translating, and her mom's basically like, you know what, we need to talk. Like, I'm not the type to be fake. I want to put things straight on the table. That's what she's just like saying in translation, apparently. I don't know if he's making it sound nice or what. But she came in and she did not look happy. It's not like she's like an evil woman or anything. Especially in Carla's situation, like you don't have much family out here. It's just you, your mom, and your brother. It's
literally, well, back at home, I only have my mom and my brother. And that's it. No aunts, uncles, none of that out in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, to him, it's probably an over-exaggerated person or personality because I was always raised that way, that parent being super protective has never been a big deal to me. But to him, like, he's from a different culture and stuff like that. So obviously to him, it's like
being a certain race and culture has a lot to do with your relationship. You shouldn't base it off that, but it affects it a lot.
With it.
And me being black and just how I was raised, like I'm part white, part African American, but I'm mainly raised by African American side of my family. So things that we just do, like if you're African American, or black, you just know, like you already know what I'm talking about. And if you're Mexican, you probably know what she's talking about. So we always talk about how we want a foreign or we want this and that, and we want to date outside of our race, which is completely fine. But the thing that I never really realized, because I never really had a girlfriend where like I really was with her and really met her family and she was outside of my culture. Like I've never had that. I always say on Twitter like, oh, like I want a crazy girl, like Latinas is crazy, but I'm addicted. Like I always say little hints and throw shots like I love Mexican girls or Latina girls, whatever the race may be. I never really thought about like how they really are crazy. They're crazy. Like, and it's not even like they're like insane, but it's just like
overprotective, over the top. Even in a relationship, they're super overprotective.
Yeah.
And I think it's how we're raised, because to us, family is literally everything we got. When it comes to like being a part of the family, like we take the claws out for whoever's like our best friend, boyfriend, mom, dad, whatever it is. Even though my mom was like obviously scaring him, I think it was just her way of showing him how much I mean to her and how much he shouldn't fuck with me.
Put it like a long story short, she really was just.
Because it was 3 hours.
No, the conversation, I was like, okay, she's gonna talk to me.
This is the end of it.
She's gonna talk to me for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and she's gonna talk to me about her daughter. Like I was prepared for that conversation because I feel like that's how it's supposed to go, like to have a conversation, but that shit was 3 hours. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, she's just breaking down to me like how Carla is everything to her and just to take everything seriously. I didn't expect it to be easy, but I definitely never expected it to be that difficult. And she told me straight up, like, she's a difficult mother. Like, she's gonna always go hard for her daughter. Like, I respected that. It was really difficult for me to sit there and kind of take that.
Definitely had to like humble himself and be like, okay.
I had to just step back and think to myself, like, if I was in her shoes, how I feel about my daughter, especially doing as much as she does for you. I have to think to myself, okay, like I don't want another person coming in and messing with my daughter, like hurting my daughter. So at first I didn't think like that, but as the conversation went on, I kind of thought to myself.
So her basic point, like the whole point of the whole conversation was that, you know, she sees me being very serious with him. Like I'm away.
I laid the game down. I laid it down.
He came into my life really quickly, and it became something really like special to me. And she already kind of had an idea of it. Me living away from her, she already knew like obviously this is serious. So the main point of the whole conversation was, you know, if he was gonna come into my life, she just didn't want him, except me and him, apart from my family, which is only my mom and my brother. And that was basically the main point, that she just wanted him, you know, if he was going to come into my life, to be united family, that, you know, we could all just be together and stuff.
That's what she was talking about, but in the moment, she was grilling me like I was a piece of barbecue chicken or something. But what it did do for me, like, is she just kept it straight up, and I didn't have to wonder about how her mom was or what she would act like. She just told me straight up, like, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. Like, if you're gonna be serious about my daughter, then you basically have to show me what you're made of. She literally said, like, if you care about Carla, you're gonna try to win her mother over. I've never really met my girlfriend's mom ever, like, and had to like meet her and like win her over. And I never brought a girl to my mom unless I thought it was serious, which has been never, apparently, because I never brought anybody to my mom. or my dad. There's just certain things that I didn't know, and I had to just say to myself, okay, like I need to learn, like, and I had to explain to her mom, like, there's certain things that I don't know about your culture that in mine are a little bit different. They might be the same, but you have to give me like some type of
a chance,
time to learn, and like give me a chance to really prove to you that I'm not gonna give up and like getting mad or sad because it's difficult and you're making it difficult for me. I don't want Carla to be easy to get. That was that whole conversation, and after that it was just a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I don't get stressed out easily, but if it's a lot of stuff, I just can't really take it.
I could tell he got really sad, and he wasn't trying to or anything, but I was like, you know, it also like proved a lot of stuff for me. I was like, if he can make it through this, then we can make it through.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, if I can make it through these last 4 days, I can make it through forever. That's the only thing I was thinking. But we still have a 36-hour drive. After that talk, like, I knew that if I messed up again, like, it was a wrap. Well, the next day we had to actually pack up and leave. So I kind of took like what I knew about like traveling and like what we might need for the car and stuff like that. So I kind of used that, and that kind of won her over a little bit.
But you know, we don't really have a man around. So he helped.
Man role.
Yeah, he had to play the dad role basically, of being in the car and stuff like that. But
the first time I think I won her over a little bit was, well, number one, like helping put the stuff in the car and figuring out like
the car was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the car was really full, and we had to figure out how to put everything in the car. And so like I had a bright idea. I was like, let's put it on the top of the car. And it was like she was like, oh yeah. I felt hella good. That was the best moment I had.
That was your
It
best
was like
moment.
Fireworks. Me and her.
You felt so nice, huh?
I felt like I actually did something. Like, it was hella simple, but I'm so tall that I could see over the car, and I was like, the top racks of the car. We could put the luggage on the top of the car.
We started driving the first day. It was easy. We took turns driving the whole way there. So my mom was driving like what, 4 hours. Then it was his turn. It was like 4 hours or so. And then it was my turn, which I would only get like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, she gets the easy part.
I
would do a lot of like the hard stuff.
He did do a lot.
The second day when I won her over the second day because you know how at hotels you have like that free complimentary breakfast or whatever.
Oh,
you have, like, breakfast.
My mom wakes up hella early, so I was just like, oh, wake up for breakfast, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, let's go. And my brother was like, for sure not. He didn't even respond to her.
He didn't even wake up at all.
And then she leaves, and then
she leaves to go get the complimentary breakfast.
Cameron gets up and he's like, you let your mom go by yourself? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, we should go with her. I honestly was like, just go by yourself, but I was like, all right, fine, because like, who's gonna be the translator?
Well, I went and I specifically told her because I wanted her to know the effort I just put in. I got up out of my sleep and I wanted to make sure she was cool. So I was like, yeah, I didn't want you to be out here by yourself. She's really happy about that.
For her, it's like the little details that count her the most.
So that was the second day. Third day, we have to drive through like Nebraska, Colorado, and Utah. It's my part of like my leg of the drive, so we drive like, she said like 3-4 hours each. But for this like leg, for some reason it started raining. Like it started raining out of nowhere.
Pouring.
So we're driving through these mountains. Number one, like she's scared to drive through the mountains. She drive like a grandma. Number one, she be driving like this. So we're not gonna spend 38 hours in the car with you driving like her mom drives faster than her. Anyway, so her mom's scared to drive through the mountains. She's scared to drive through the mountains. I'm like, you know what? It's my golden opportunity. I'm not scared of nothing. Like I don't act like I'm scared of nothing. So I'm driving through the mountains. It's like not that difficult. We get to the point where like it's pushing like sunset, like nighttime, and then it starts raining really, really hard. I put on the windshield wipers and we're driving. Like I'm driving, it's good. It's raining hard. It's like you can't see like if the
it's foggy.
Yeah, it's like almost like a storm. Like it literally was a storm.
Yeah, it was.
So all of a sudden, like the windshield wipers in the car go out.
And at first I was like, it's no big deal. Like okay. And I was like, it's probably just like stuck on something. I don't know. I'm low-key panicking. My mom's like, oh, like what am I gonna do? My mom's over here calling mechanics like, okay, so what do I do? she hands me over the phone. He's looking stuff on the internet to see what's wrong with the.
Well, basically, without windshield wipers, you cannot. You have no visibility in the car.
Yeah.
So if it's a storm, number one, I barely made it to the side of the freeway. We could have like literally almost died if I didn't drive right. Her mom's life, her brother's life, and her life, and mine, and the 2 dogs.
Oh yeah. Oh, I completely forgot the 2 dogs.
I have everybody's lives in my hand, and I pull over and we try to figure out how to fix the windshield wipers, and we couldn't figure it out.
We couldn't figure it out. So we go and he's just like, you know what? Like, let's just try to stop at a gas station. It's still pouring rain. And he starts driving. I was like, just be careful. Like, we're driving super duper slow. And the next gas station was like 20 minutes away, right?
I have to drive like through this rain. So I have to just imagine where the road's at.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
I could not see, like I had to imagine where the shit was at. So I'm like looking at the map on my phone and I'm like,
he's like looking at the map at the same time he's driving.
And I'm driving, so that shit was like 13 minutes away. That was the longest 13 minutes of my life. Like I'm like, and it's raining super duper hard. We make it there and then we have to sit and wait out the storm. So we wait out the storm. It's still raining, but I'm like, you know, we need to like leave because we already booked the hotel.
Yeah, so the hotel's already booked. So I'm just like, damn, like we're not even gonna get to this hotel.
No, look, I look in the backseat. I'm like, this is my opportunity. I was like, we're gonna make it. She's like, okay. I was like, we're gonna make it. She's like, okay.
You know, she did like that you said that.
She did?
No, remember when we tried to speak Spanish to her?
I said something like, vamos a la Utah or something. I said, vamos a la Utah. And she was like, oh.
Me and her started cracking up.
I was like, we gonna make it to Utah. And like, it was my like mission to make it to Utah. I was like, I'm just gonna drive. I don't even want Carla driving because she might drive us off a cliff.
For real.
It's hard to explain what I had to do. Like, I had to just imagine the road. But we made it.
We made it through. We made it to Utah. We got there.
Your mom was happy.
Yeah. We were all glad we made it because we're like, we're gonna lose like a whole day.
But at that point, I felt like her mom could trust me a little bit more. That was an example of me being able to keep you safe. I feel like because if we're in that by ourselves, she knows like, okay,
yeah,
he can make sure that we get there safely, which was my goal, and I completed. I felt more comfortable around your mom. Like she wasn't like grilling me as much. I cannot wait to get home so I could just like chill. We make it through that whole trip and we finally get home. Make it to where she has to get dropped off. And,
well, when we make it to Riverside, where he meets my madrina. He meets the whole gang pretty much. And by that point, when we got there, they were like, wow, he's so big.
They always talk about how tall I am. That's all
every time, it's like, everyone that meets him that's on my side is like, wow, he's so big and tall. My mom kind of wanted a second opinion. They kind of gave her the go.
This is after another 8-hour drive. So we drive 8 hours and so I'm dead tired again. It's like round 2 of like being nervous. It wasn't really like a grilling session. Like this time it was a little more like relaxed.
Yeah.
I just stayed myself. Like I didn't like try to do extra. I just like stayed cool. But focusing on your mom though, like that was like a second. She needed a second opinion from them about me.
You know, you can just tell from first impressions like he's a good guy or not. And they both said like Yaya was like, oh, mi niño. Mi niño's like, oh, my little baby. It was a big part of him for him to drive across America. Obviously not just any boyfriend would just be like, let me just drive my new my girlfriend's mom across America. They were basically like, you know, if he did that, like that just proves you right there what kind of person he is or his intentions. That kind of was like an okay moment for my mom where she was like, okay.
After meeting her other parts, like her godfather, godmother, that was like the last step for me, I needed to complete that trip. I just told myself like, if I fly across America, I go meet her mother, that's step 1, like that's a big deal. Number 1 is to fly that far, to meet you, like it's a big deal. It's not a crazy big deal, but like it's a big deal. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna really try and show them like, I'm gonna really try and show her like, okay, if I help drive across like America with you, like no matter what happens, like I felt like at that point, like that should show her mother how much I cared about you. And so I think it was difficult at first, but I think after all of that, her mother kind of understood what type of guy I was and what type of man I would be for her daughter. And it wasn't like something that was fake. Like I don't think anybody who was trying to play around or was bullshitting, would do all that. And they would be dumb. Like, that would be the dumbest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Like, she'd be laughing at me probably if I did all that and I really was just playing around. And now I know if I play around, I'm gonna get killed.
He's probably like, he's gonna be a dead man.
Yeah, her mom follows me on Instagram, everything.
Yeah, my mom does follow him on all.
She don't like when I put my tongue out or nothing. That was kind of the main story of how I met her mom and kind of how it went. It honestly was, I did not expect it to be that difficult, man. It was way more than I thought I could handle, but like, I handled it. And I know her mother's a big part of her life, so at the end of the day, I know I gotta get through her mother to get to her. And if I pissed off her mom, I know it would be a wrap. There would be no, like, it would not be easy for me to talk to Carla anymore. I tried my best, and I'm pretty sure right now me and her mom are on good, like, terms.
He did a good job. So overall, the trip was it went really well, except it did have its rocky patches.
That is ups and its downs.
Yeah, but I think overall it kind of showed him what my family's about and what I came from, and it showed me how much he cares about me.
Your mom's difficult. Let me put it simple. Her mom's difficult, but she loves her mom.
I love my mom so much. So my mom means everything to me. He knew that to basically win over my heart, which, I mean, he already has. You always want your mom to like your partner because they mean so much to you. She still is a difficult woman, but she is my mom and I love her very, very much. So she's probably watching this.
Shout out to the mom. I see you, girl.
The Spanish moms.
I see you, girl.
And I love him even more. And the more he obviously tries to win my mom over, he knows that it's gonna win me over.
Alright, so look, more of the story today. Number one, know what you're getting yourself into. If you say you want to date a Spanish girl or Latina, whatever, I'm saying the right term?
Latina.
Yeah, when they're Latino or you want to date outside your race, just be prepared because cultures are different and it really is like something that you have to be prepared for, which I wasn't. But I'm glad I experienced it because now I know more about Carla. Number two, meeting a mom is always nerve-wracking, but it ain't that difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna ever be easy. I think if it's easy, you might have something to worry about.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a wonderful experience with Carla and her family, and I'm thankful that she allowed me to go do that because I think it made us become closer.
Way closer.
A lot closer than we were, and now we kind of have a stronger bond. If you guys like that video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, like the video. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at Kburton_25. I'll leave a link right here. Make sure you guys follow Carla at
Theerealkarlaj.
Theerealkarlaj with 2 E's. If you guys want to hear more stories about us, let me know in the comments because we got a couple of little stories, you know what I mean?
I mean, he still has some more to talk about, I'm sure. He still has to go through some.
I got more things I gotta go through, so I'll keep y'all updated. But y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good rest of your afternoon, night. If you watching this in the middle of the night, you watching on the toilet. You know, I'll be watching on the toilet. You eating food, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we appreciate it. Alright. Yeah. Carla, this is like the 30th
I can't
video.
do it like this, y'all.
Ready?